The market basket drama may almost be over. The governors of Massachusetts and New Hampshire say they're optimistic a deal will be reached soon to sell the company to ousted CEO Arthur T. DeMullis. A spokesman for DeMullis released a statement last night, reads in part here, "There is nothing that stands in the way of getting this done this weekend. It's time to complete this deal so we can all get back to doing what we love doing, and that is running Market Basket." Our Josh Brogadier has the latest now.
Josh Brogadier, NECN.
In other news here today, the first human case of West Nile virus of the year has been reported in Massachusetts. The patient is a man in his 60s and he lives in Middlesex County. Health officials say the man is recovering, but he's still in the hospital. They're trying to figure out when the man was likely exposed to mosquitoes infected with that virus. And in New Hampshire now, a person in Conway is the state's first human case of Eastern equine encephalitis, or EEE. There's no word on that person's condition. Health officials also say mosquitoes containing the virus were found in dairy and Candia. They say symptoms of EEE often appear 4 to 10 days after a mosquito makes contact with a person. Lawyers for Boston Marathon bombing suspect Jahar Tsarnaev are asking a judge to dismiss indictments and put proceedings on hold. The attorneys say they're concerned about the jury selection process in federal court. Tsarnaev's lawyers say their review of procedures used to select juries in Massachusetts turned up substantial violations of the jury selection law and of constitutional requirements that juries represent a fair cross-section of the population. Tsarnaev has pleaded not guilty to the attack. The fiancée of former Patriot Aaron Hernandez wants a judge to throw out charges she lied to a grand jury. Shayana Jenkins appeared in Fall River Court yesterday. She asked the judge to dismiss the perjury charges against her. Prosecutors say she lied to a grand jury dozens of times during the investigation into the 2013 murder of Odin Lloyd. Lloyd was dating her sister, and Hernandez is charged with Lloyd's murder. Jenkins' lawyer claims there is no direct evidence that Jenkins lied and that most of the time she simply didn't remember the answers to the grand jury's questions.
When someone alleges lack of memory.
The judge did not make a ruling. Jenkins will be back in court coming up on December 22nd. The White House says it considers the murder of a New Hampshire journalist, James Foley, a terrorist attack against the United States. So who is ISIS? And what does their growing threat mean for Iraq and the international community? Our Alicia Palumbo talked to a counterterrorism expert about that militant group.
As the U.S.
Now, some of the trucks in a Russian aid convoy that entered Ukraine are doing an about-face today. 4 of the trucks were seen waiting at the border crossing into a Russian town. There's no word on whether they were carrying any cargo. The trucks that Russia says carried humanitarian aid entered Ukraine without permission yesterday. The Ukrainian government and Western countries believe the convoy could be used by Russia to smuggle supplies and reinforcements for rebel fighters.
All that next half hour.
And in national news right now, our weather coverage continues. Parts of Washington state are dealing with mudslides resulting from Thursday's stormy weather. The mudslides are damaged or destroyed 10 homes. They blocked highways there. The homes are in an area that's been scarred by massive wildfires. There are no reports of any injuries. Authorities say the Red Cross is on standby if anyone needs a shelter. An Oklahoma dentist is at the center of a health scare. He has surrendered his license today. Scott Harrington's 2 clinics were shut down in March of 2013 because they were, quote, filthy. Investigators found rusty instruments and potentially contaminated drug vials. They also say a machine designed to sterilize tools was just not being used properly. As a result, state health officials urged thousands of patients to get tested for HIV and hepatitis. An Iowa woman is charged for lying to people for months, saying her 5-year-old daughter had terminal cancer. Letha Slauson was arrested on a charge of felony endangerment. She's also suspected of giving the child cannabis oil. Officials say Slauson also set up a bank account to support that family. Thousands of dollars had been donated to that account. In sports now, the Patriots certainly look like they're ready for the start of the regular season. The Pats looked impressive last night in their 3rd preseason game. This game was against the Panthers. Tom Brady threw for over 200 yards, 2 touchdowns, and the defense shut down Carolina for most of that game. The Pats did win last night, 30-7.
It was good to make some plays there late in the second quarter.
All right, so the summer is winding down, but for several kids in the Boston Public School District, it's been a summer to remember at the Charlestown Historic Navy Yard. This morning, we take a closer look at a program that's been teaching kids how to swim, sail, and take the lead on life's challenges for the past quarter century, in fact. Here's Latoya Edwards.
Ready? Grab the top of the sail.
Latoya Edwards, NECN.
Of course, we wish those kids smooth sailing. Courageous Sailing's youth programs are also available to students outside of Boston Public Schools. It is at a cost for those students, although there are scholarships available if you're interested. Courageous Sailing starts posting registration information on its website beginning in March, and you can find a link to that website on our newly redesigned NECN.com. All right, Tim, we'll look forward to that. In the news here, Texas Governor Rick Perry is spending a second day in New Hampshire today. He's hoping for a do-over more than 2 years after he finished 6th in the 2012 primary. Our Marnie McLean reports now from Portsmouth.
Texas Governor Marnie McLean, NECN.
In more political news here, Massachusetts Senator Elizabeth Warren says she has nothing to do with the newly formed political organization that's urging her to run for president. Lawyers for Warren delivered a letter to the Federal Elections Commission. In that letter, they say Warren does not endorse or approve of any activities by the group Ready for Warren. Warren's attorneys also point out that Warren has repeatedly stated she's not running for president. Former Vermont Senator Jim Jeffords is being remembered as a man who took his Vermont roots with him to Washington. People came from all over the state to say goodbye to one of their most popular public servants. Our Jack Thurston has the story.
Jack Thurston, NECN.
In other news here today, a grand jury has indicted 3 people accused of misleading police who were investigating the disappearance and death of a Pittsburgh, Massachusetts boy. The Worcester County DA's office says Kaylee Thibault, Ashley Cromier, and also Christian Sierra face charges of intimidation of a witness and also perjury. Jeremiah Oliver was reported missing from his home last December. His remains were found in April along the side of a road in Sterling. His mother and her boyfriend have pleaded not guilty to charges including reckless endangerment. Hundreds of customers' credit cards may have been exposed at 2 pizza restaurants in Maine. Auto Pizza says it experienced a data breach, started in May, at 2 of their restaurants on Congress Street in Portland, Maine. Company is encouraging customers to contact their bank or credit card companies if they notice any suspicious activity. Auto Pizza has 6 other restaurants in Maine and Massachusetts which were not affected by this breach. People in Wellesley, Massachusetts will have to wait a bit longer to drink their tap water. A boil water order remains in effect because of E. coli that was detected in a town reservoir. The town says it has gotten back 1 clean test, but a second one is needed before the order can be lifted. Customers should boil their water for at least 1 minute before using it, drinking it too. Town officials are still trying to figure out how that E. coli got into that water supply. A Middlesex County District Attorney in Massachusetts is taking heat for withholding pages of a report on how her office handled the murder case of Jared Remy. That report was missing 19 pages. Our Nicole Jacobs talked to DA Marianne Ryan.
The murder of Jennifer Martell.
All right, a Little League team from Cumberland, Rhode Island. They are back from Williamsport, Pennsylvania. Hundreds of fans were on hand to welcome that team home and congratulate them on their accomplishment. Our Catherine Sotnick was also there.
I'm Catherine Sotnick, NECN.
Welcome back, guys, and good luck in school this year. Sports is coming up next on NECN. With the preseason winding down, the Patriots look like they're ready for the real games to start.